Hello class. So right now we are gonna solve a problem, a two-step equation, uh, both concretely and pictorially. So let's start with concretely first. So that's the same thing as saying algebraically or using numbers. So let's see. 4x minus 4 equals 8. The first thing you want to do is you want to get rid of this 4 because the goal with solving equation is to have the variables on one side and all the numbers on the other side of the equal sign, the equation. So first thing you want to get rid of is that minus 4. So to get rid of a minus 4 we do the opposite operation, which is opposite to subtracting 4 is adding 4. So we're going to say 4x, so we're going to add 4 to both sides. Okay, so now when we rewrite this, we're going to end up with 4x minus 4 plus 4 equals 8 plus 4. We do what we can, and you notice here, when you do this, you're going to get rid of this minus 4 and it becomes 0. 4x plus 0 or minus 0, that you don't have to say that, of course. And on the other side, we're going to have 8 plus 4, and in this case we're going to end up with 12. So this is a two-step solution or equation. So the second step would be, we don't want 4 x's, we want only 1 x. So to get to that, we divide by 4 because we have 4x. So if we don't have anything in between the number and the variable, the default operation is multiplication. So that's 4 multiplied by x. To get rid of a multiplication, we divide. So we divide both sides by 4, and we end up with x. 4 divided by 4 is 1, or 1x, and the equal sign doesn't change. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So the answer is 3. This is the work that we have to do. So we did one step, two steps. Now let's look at how we can do this pictorially. So pictorially, or drawing by pictures or using a model, this is one of the models. We're going to be using algebra tiles for our model. So the first thing we need to do here is we need to draw this equation. To draw it, on the left side of the equation we have 4x. They're positive 4, so for each x we're going to draw a rod. And it's positive, we do not shade it inside. We also have on the left side minus 4. Minus 4 are little squares, and these little squares are filled in. Okay, on the other side we put a line. On the other side we have 8. They are positive 8, so we're going to have 8 little squares, and these little squares are going to be empty. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the first step we need to do here is to get rid of this 4. Again, we want the x's on one side and all the numbers on the other side. So in this case we have x's here to get rid of. So these are negative x's. To get rid of negative x's, we introduce positive sorry, not x's, sorry, those are negative 4. So we need to introduce 4 positive 1s. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4, and what we do to one side we have to do to the other side, because otherwise we are messing up with the balance or the equal sign. Okay, so adding 4 to both sides, it's not going to change anything. These two get rid of each other, and now those two add up because they're both positive. So we have to redraw this. So those cancel each other out. So we need to redraw the situation. So this, to make things easier, draw it each x by itself, or each variable by itself, or vertically. This would make things easier for this step here, because now we know that we have the final step is coming up, is to circle how many 1s are in for each variable, or x in this case. So we have 4, we put them vertically, and then we divide each one of those, we divide them amongst these 4. So we have 12 of them. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're done. Now this just makes this step a lot easier, so you don't have to draw weird shapes and something that looks like a jigsaw puzzle. So we just circle each group. These groups have to be equal. Okay. In the future, I understand you could have fractions and decimals, but not in this case or at this level yet. When you draw them, you have to have whole numbers. And in this case here, we are done now. So each x has 3, just as we saw with the solution from before, using algebraic method or algebraically.